So I'm out here in sunny San Diego, California at the Sony Creative Space event, checking out the new Sony A7V, which is an improvement on the legendary A7IV, which was also an improvement on the legendary A7III that everybody in their mama had. So checking out what upgrades they made to this camera. We're gonna go on a photo walk. I'm gonna put it to the test because, like I said, the best way to learn about a camera is to actually go shoot with it. So let's get to it. This lens will put you in the gym.
It also greenlit something I was using, but they said that there is a possibility it might come back.
Oh. Had to find the moon.
That one's good, like a stack cube. Yeah.
Alright, let's talk specs real quick before we get started. New body. That's a big difference between the A7IV and the A7V. We have the flippy tilted screen that I think every camera known to man should now have. From this point forward, we should only have flippy tilted screens. Like, done deal. All brands, flippy tilted screen. We still have 33 megapixels on the A7V, but it is a new sensor. It is a much faster sensor. So if the A7IV sensor wasn't fast enough for you, they fixed it. So the rolling shutter is much improved. You can now do 30 frames a second in burst, and you can also do 4K 60 with the full width of the sensor. So big improvement over the A7IV in those regards. Also with that comes a whole extra stop of dynamic range, and you also have blackout free shooting when you're doing 30 frames a second. So when you're looking through the viewfinder, you can remain locked in on your subject without the viewfinder blacking out on you when you're doing the photo burst. Now, I'm definitely oversimplifying this. There's a whole lot of extra little intricate details, but I just got my hands on the camera, so can't really go down that whole rabbit hole right now. But I also know that there is an improvement to the stabilization as well. So there are more stabilization modes on this camera than they had with the A7IV. So about to go on this photo walk and try to get more into the nitty gritty, and I give you my thoughts along the way.
We're gonna guide you in this photo walk. We have also models here to help us. Like, hi. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun, take good photos. If you have any questions or whatever, don't hesitate to ask us. We will try to help us as much as possible.
Seriously? That's amazing.
Okay, so the theme here is basically two things are happening. One, there's a lot of photographers that you can see, and we're all trying to shoot the same model from many different angles and trying not to get in each other's way while also getting the shot that we're trying to get. Second thing happening is this camera is factory defaulted, so it's just like it is when you get out the box. So none of the settings that I would typically have set up or shortcuts or anything like that that I would have my own personal camera set to are available to me. So I'm pretty much trying to make the camera work in the way that I typically use my camera. And you know, you get into a certain situation where it's like, oh, I want to do this, but it's like, oh wait, I gotta go in the menu and change that. And I even use a raw setting that's not even available for Lightroom and all these other editors yet. So I had to convert the raw file into, you know, another format to try to get it to work and yada yada yada. So it's not the most amazing pictures ever, but short time frame with the camera, and I was basically trying to get what I can get. I tried to incorporate a few video clips here and there. Don't pay too much attention to any stabilization or, you know, shakiness or anything like that, because I didn't have time to really set up the camera how I wanted to. I just threw it in S-Log3 and went with it. So this is the next spot with another model that they had, and I think this is where, you know, I've gotten past some of the initial settings I needed to change from the last spot, and I'm kind of looking at how the autofocus is working and behaving with her turning her head and, you know, different angles, and of course eye autofocus and everything is working spectacularly. We're used to this from Sony by now, so no surprise there.
Right. I'm like,
San Diego sun.
right, yes.
It's hell.
Very, very bright. I
You've
love
just
it.
been like blasting your eyes all day.
Literally, yeah.
don't know if you can see that, but there's a green box on the eye showing in the pictures that I took, so you know what's in focus. That's pretty cool. Not that cameras previously suffered from lack of dynamic range, but this is a situation where you kind of get the stress tested a little bit. So make sure I got a shot like this where, you know, the sun is like directly behind her overhead, and you know there's a lot of contrast going on. And like I said earlier, I don't have access to the raw file format that I used in the camera, but of course there's no problem recovering the shadows and, you know, having a pretty well exposed shot. So, initial impressions. First thing I instantly noticed is the autofocus. I've been on this, I'm on the Lumix S1 II right now, and the autofocus is fine, but you just forget how magical Sony's autofocus is. And this camera is no exception. It's like it reads your brain. It's just in focus. You just want something in focus, and you don't have to have the perfect mode. You don't have to have the perfect settings dialed in like I do on this camera where I have to get it just right for the situation. It just knows. And I'm glad to see that has carried over into this camera, and somehow magically it's better than it was before. So that's the biggest takeaway I have so far, autofocus.
To make like a contrast between shadows and lights in her face and the pattern of the leaves in her face would be like super cool shot if you wanna try like having all those leaves in autofocus. So get closer, get a photo.
This next spot, I didn't really like the lighting, but it was a good situation to test out the autofocus and things because of the leaves, and I understand trying to get, like, you know, the camera to focus on the eye through the different leaves and everything like that. So we kind of piled around her right here and, you know, giving it a good stress test on the autofocus. But like I said, I wasn't a fan of the lighting, and typically when I'm not a fan of the lighting, the shot looks great in black and white because there's a lot of contrast and shapes and shadows and angles. So I think that worked out pretty well for this shot. This is another backlit situation, and you know, a lot of people was trying to get the shot, and I'm kind of walking around trying to find the different angles. I don't know why I didn't put the camera where I can see myself, but I'm kind of moving around a lot trying to figure out what angle I want to capture this from. And as you can see from this shot, people are pretty much in every spot, and I want to get closer because I'm shooting on a 24mm, and I don't want to block other people's shot. So at some point I ended up getting real close and got this shot from a low angle. Time to return her. Had a great time, but like I said, I drove from LA to San Diego for this event, and they're also having one in LA, so most likely I'm going to end up going to that one as well, and I'll be able to check it out more and try to get a little bit more in depth when I do that. So until next time, goodbye. All in all, great event. Definitely want to get my hands on the camera for a longer period of time so I can be more fair to the camera and more fair to what I show you guys. But yeah, this is my first impressions of the A7V, and most likely I'm going to try to attend the event that is in Los Angeles and, you know, get a little more time with the camera in hand, or if I get my hands on it some other way, and give you guys a more detailed and in-depth look at, you know, what's new about this camera and what's possible. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.